Okay, it's GG's. GG no re. You feel me? Here, we'll just tune into fucking Fox News and here.
And they were just barely hanging on. That they were really just trying to make sure they could get this and then get to the 4th of July event.
The Tea Party caucus buckled. The Freedom Caucus, the Freedom.
207 yays, 209.
The fucking Tea Party caucus buckled. Okay.
Still look like we're just a few votes shy, 7 votes of the,
they buckled.
9 votes shy of that magic number. We're doing the math in real time. We go into journalism, so we don't have to do math. So I apologize if my counting is off. But the all indications here that Speaker Johnson is still on track for the victory. I saw a White House aide just a minute ago walk by, and I've been bugging this guy all day, and I've just said,
Freedom Caucus is real.
We'll see.
All right,
So
you know what? Fuck it. I'm blasting it.
As cautiously optimistic as they can, Sandra. But as Speaker Johnson made it very clear, he was going to get this to the president's desk and ready for the president's pen at any moment.
Fair enough. We heard that confidence from him. We heard that confidence from Kevin Hassett, who advises the president on the economy at the White House, top of the hour. He said he's 100% sure that this will go through. Mark Meredith, we're watching the count. 208 yays now for the Republicans on the House floor. Couple minutes left in voting. Trey Gowdy, want to bring you back in here. Mark, jump back in if you get a lawmaker who walks by you fresh off their vote. We'll certainly welcome their thoughts. But as far as the promises made by the Republicans, including what you just heard from the House Speaker a few moments ago, the promises for economic growth and prosperity that they are promising Americans will result from this bill.
It won't. It'll shrink the GDP is what they're saying. So it's ironically not even economic prosperity on that end. Do we have a blast off meme or what?
Yeah, I think the thing that we may not see is that the revenue actually, there are 2 ways to reduce the deficit. You can cut spending or you can increase revenue. I don't know that you're going to see that much increased revenue. The president's trying to get manufacturing here. That's going to take a while. But in terms of your tax returns, the Republicans would be smart to send out a mailer and say, this is what your tax returns would have been had the Democrats prevailed.
I fucking hate Trey Gowdy so much.
So that's their best
Look at this
point.
kooky ass motherfucker. Look at this haircut, bro.
What's the value of your life? But they do need to talk about safety. The number that matters there is the 9, not voting 9. Now, they're in their offices, they're working their way over, or they're on the phone with James Blair and the White House, Susie Wiles, saying, okay, we lost this round. Can you help us with X in the future? But there's not a chance in the world Mike Johnson's going to put this bill on the floor if he doesn't have the votes.
Yeah, these guys are great vote counters. You don't put a bill on the floor unless you
know
it's going to pass. That's the game on Capitol Hill. And Trey, you talked a little bit about
I just realized? Donald Trump wanted to cut Medicare or wanted to cut Medicaid and end Obamacare his first time around, and it literally didn't pass because of John McCain, and he hated John McCain every step of the way. And I just realized it's over. Like they just passed a bill that guts Medicaid in its entirety. It's done. It's over.
In South Carolina, if that's Ralph.
Okay, Trey, it's Fitzpatrick from Pennsylvania.
Who did vote against the procedural vote in the middle of the night as well. So that's Brian Fitzpatrick in a very moderate district. I believe President Biden won his district in 2024. But Trey, go ahead,
RIP to people who are on Snap.
Yeah, I think the thing with the deficit, what drives our deficit and our debt's mandatory spending. And I've sat through many State of the Union addresses where it just didn't come up because it's not politically popular. Paul Ryan ran on entitlement reform, and they ran ads with him pushing Granny off a cliff in a wheelchair. So everybody talks about debt and deficits, but it's much more popular to spend than to cut. So I don't until there is.
Dude, he's talking about it like it's this is a fantastic accomplishment. He's like, it's much more popular to spend than to cut. He's right, which is crazy. But he's literally talking about expenditures for people, like life-saving expenditures for people. Yeah, I wonder why it's more popular to fund these programs than to cut them, dude.
But to your point, Eli. Yeah, big week. NATO. It's a list of wins he's put together, and President Trump is preparing to put together.
I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. They're talking about this like it's a major W for Donald Trump. God damn it. Oh my God. These people are so incredibly stupid. They are so dumb. Everyone is so stupid. oh, another great victory for Donald Trump. Is he becoming president? Is he President Trump now? Is he President Trump? Like, please just factor in the impact. Please just do impact studies only going forward. Please, for the love of Christ.
And that is going to be a very big, visible kind of party for him.
Right. And again, this is a guy who, this is the guy who yesterday went to Alligator Alcatraz, right? This is a guy who knows how to brand and how to reach people and how to have a simple message, how to capture the public's imagination. And he's going to be standing next to the troops and celebrating the troops who did that. He's going to be talking about a major legislative accomplishment for him and Republicans. And those are really significant things. Again, down the road, we will see, right? A lot of the deportations and the immigration stuff, the ICE actions, those are not polling as though they appear to be all that popular. So if ICE gets supercharged and we see a lot more of those, and that's what's on voters' mind 8 months from now, a year from now, we could be talking about a different story, right? You can celebrate anything at the bill signing. Joe Biden had a lot of celebrations for bill signings too. Didn't mean he ended up being able to, or the Democrats ended up being able to hold on to the White House, and here we are. So I think, give the administration, the White House, the Republican Party its due, because they do appear like they are going to get this to the finish line. And it has been a string of wins, as they would say, over the last week or two.
This is cool, man. Hey,
but
thanks.
There is, a long way to go.
Fantastic, by the way. This congressman, Representative Robert Bresnahan, sold his Centene stock, dumped it, okay? Centene provides healthcare exchanges for Medicaid. This congressman literally dumped stock in a Medicaid provider company right before this bill came to the floor. Don't be fooled. These guys know exactly what they're doing. Now, before you say insider trading, chat, it's worse than insider trading. Do you want to know why it's worse than insider trading? Because he's literally, he has the capacity to make or break this as a congressperson. Okay? It's not just that, he knows that they have the votes for it, so this is the most opportune time to dump it. It's worse. It's market manipulation when you think about it. The fact that congresspersons have the power to literally rig the market, because they do. They have this power. They have the power to rig the market, okay? It is market manipulation. It's not even like insider trading. It's like one step above. What's crazy is I saw a post on one of those stupid Twitter, Wall Street Bets style accounts where they were like, damn, I can't believe Trump predicted exactly the point of market recovery. And it had 100,000 likes. And I didn't see anyone go, yeah, he didn't predict it. He caused it. It was showing it was showing the stock market dip, and then Trump going, buy now. This is the best time for you to buy. And then the stock market goes back on a rally, right? And now it's finally recovered back to the point it was at before Donald Trump talked about the tariffs. And it's thank God someone actually fucking responded to it, because this is what I saw. And it's he literally called the bottom. And I was like, yeah, I wonder why he called the bottom. Yeah, because he's the president. He didn't call the bottom. He created the bottom. And then he literally tweaked the faucet that was making the market bottom out. And right before he tweaked the faucet, he said, great time to buy. Are these people that dumb? Are they this stupid? I guess the answer is yes. Thank God someone responded to it and said, wait, why does this have 32K likes? Law? Of course he called the bottom. He caused the bottom, and then he decided to end it. Guy who single-handedly destroyed the economy tells everyone he is done destroying the economy. Anyone else does this and the SEC rails their brains out? No, they don't. No, they don't. You want to know why? Because the SEC is a carcass now, okay? They don't even do that anymore, because guess what? Donald Trump and the vultures that he brought into office gutted every institution, every regulatory body, including the SEC. Yes, in a functioning government, the SEC is supposed to go, hold on, what do you mean? This is, all of this stuff doesn't seem too legal to me. I think what's one of the craziest parts about all of this is that like there is an enshittification of government. Like everything is just getting worse and worse year over year in a way that like even dumb guys can kind of understand. And I guess at that point you have two options. You either lean into it and you go, nah, this is actually funny, lol, fuck you. Or you just go, yeah, this is really messed up. I'm checking out. You know, I'm tapping out. I don't want to participate in this. I don't want to pay attention to this. I am not interested in this at all. You know?
And so, yeah, if Democrats win the midterms, and you know, we have seen over and over again that the voters that turn out for Trump in a presidential year are not necessarily going to turn out for, you know, in those competitive races.
The House passed it. The House initially came out with deep cuts, slammed it over to the Senate. The Senate literally added additional cuts that were even worse than the House's initial cuts. Then they passed it back to the House. The House said, okay, but this still has ginormous deficits. Maybe we won't vote for it because you have the Tea Party contingency within the Republicans who are like supposed to be quote unquote deficit hawks. They're not, obviously. They turned around and they said they voted on it. Okay. So now it's going to go to Donald Trump's desk and he's going to sign it and he's going to make a big show of it. And every dumb guy, get ready for every fucking moron whose parents are going to die. Okay. Every stupid person that you know that is currently watching, like tuning into like the Asm and Gold broadcast to be like, oh, what are the talking points? Like every single person whose grandparents rely on Medicaid for long-term nursing home care, for example, like their grandparents now have to, I guess, do additional paperwork once a month. And if they don't, they're kicked off that coverage. And what happens then? What happens to people that don't have Medicaid? It's already an insane process to qualify for this stuff. There are chatters in here who qualify for it. Good luck to the rural hospitals that rely on Medicaid to actually stay afloat, because all of the people that live in these areas, these red areas that voted for Donald Trump, that you know,